Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that the video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from. The county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, Raila Odinga officially handed over the leadership of ODM party to a new generation in Homa Bay. But I saw the presence of Aisha Jumwa during that event. What does it mean? I'm coming with that analysis later today. But in this particular video, I want us to talk about something which has also shocked me. There is this story in the Daily Nation. Let me just read for you the story, what the story says very briefly, because it's going to form the basis of this analysis. Police attempt to block Rigathi Gachagua from Nairobi church. Rigathi Gachagua is a former deputy president. He was supposed to attend a church service. Then police attempted to block Rigathi Gachagua from attending that church service. This is what the story is saying. Details have emerged of how detectives tried to stop a Nairobi-based church from hosting impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua for a church service at Kawa West, Roysambu constituency on Sunday. Bishop J.J. Gitahi, founder of Priesthood Fellowship Church, told the congregation on Sunday that the government had tried to cancel Mr. Gachagua's appearance, claiming that hosting him would amount to incitement and disrupt peace in the area. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is shocking. Shocking. And I can say Kenya should not slide back to that era. But I'm going to explain to you guys why those attempts were made. The truth of the matter is that there is no way someone can order the police to attempt to stop Rigathi Gachagua's event unless it's discussed at the highest security organ of the Republic of Kenya. The highest security organ of the Republic of Kenya is the National Security Advisory Council, chaired by the president himself. Which means the president approved that operation. It proceeds here. Priesthood Fellowship Church is located a few meters from Kawa West roundabout, and its founder, a close ally of Gachagua, is a popular pastor who made his name through motivational talks, especially on vernacular radio stations. I remember this must have been the first church William Ruto attended after he was sworn in, if I'm not wrong. And this pastor used to host William Ruto when he was campaigning. And this particular church really campaigned for William Ruto. And it proceeds here. Mr. Gitahi, through the church secretary general to the board, Stephen Wainena, told Nation after the service that detectives raided Mr. Gitahi's Membli residence in Ruiru, Kiambu County, seeking to know why he was hosting Gachagua. The detectives, who had unmarked cars, termed Mr. Gachagua's presence as a breach of national security and that his presence was likely to incite the local community against the government. Ladies and gentlemen, that is shocking. But the question is, why would the government of William Ruto attempt to block Rigathi Gachagua from attending a church service? That's exactly what I want to explain to you guys in this particular video. But before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. And by the way, I followed the events in Homa Bay today, where there was that homecoming for Gladys Wanga. I can assure you that Gladys Wanga is going to succeed Raila Odinga in Nyanza. Why? Because nobody in Nyanza can actually organize the kind of events Gladys Wanga has the ability of organizing. Gladys Wanga mobilized the entire country to Homa Bay. That's a discussion for another day. But why would the government of William Ruto attempt to block Rigathi Gachagua from attending a church service? Number one, it is part of William Ruto's government strategy to try and stop the church, mark that, from hosting Rigathi Gachagua. William Ruto understands the power of the church. Because between 2017 and 2022, William Ruto effectively used the church against Uhuru Kenyatta and against Raila Odinga. The church has structures which can be easily used to propagate anything against the government. And you can easily use the church to reach wider audience. If this had succeeded, I can tell you other churches in the mountain would not be willing to host William Ruto. To host Rigathi Gachagua. And that's exactly what they want. Because remember, you can use the church to pass your message. You can use the church to send propaganda. You can use the church to get into the hearts and the souls and the emotions of the congregation. Ruto knows how powerful he used the church. And I'm now convinced, because I didn't do that video because Rigathi Gachagua denied it, I'm now convinced that even that interview with vernacular radio stations, which Rigathi Gachagua was supposed to attend, was actually cancelled by the government. So that's number one. Number two, there is also the fear in government about the Rigathi Gachagua's messaging to the people of the mountain. Rigathi Gachagua's messaging to the mountain is actually resonating so well with the residents out there. Whether they are insightful or not is something which we leave for a future discussion. But the truth is, the way Rigathi Gachagua has managed to package his impeachment. So the fear is, if you were to provide him with the audience, let's say allow him to go to those radio stations or allow him to use the church and his messaging is resonating, there's a fear there. For example, listening to this.
Na Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua. Munataka kupokea salamu zake? Haya, wacha wasalimie kupitia njia ya simu. Deputy President, watu wanangoja kukusikiza. Adwa nyumba yitu muliega. Haya, wacha kugatishia rorere. No mweyomereirie. Ona mwatererio. Ona ni ndeyometie wakairetu wakairetu. Nimushokerie ndawa na mahoya manyu. Na ndimwire mwiyumie na mwenyitie. Gutire mbura itakiaga. No ithuĩ twarĩ kuo. No ithuĩ tũrĩ kuo. Na no ithuĩ tũgakorwo tũrĩ kuo. Nĩndĩrarĩria na andũ a kanitha.
If you studied the responses from the audience in that particular clip, you can agree that Rigathi Gachagua has a way, or the people of the mountain have actually embraced Rigathi Gachagua. So that's number 2. Number 3, in my view, I think William Ruto and his government are also trying to provoke Rigathi Gachagua, maybe to protest. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta used to do this. Uhuru Kenyatta used to really provoke William Ruto when he was the president. He would just remain silent, then do this. William Ruto and the team would go out there. When you provoke someone, you will be able to learn a few things. One of them is strategies of countering the government. Is he going to incite the church? Is he going to go to the people? What is he going to do? Number 2, by provoking someone, you can make him make moves which are very unpopular. For example, attacking William Ruto, in my view, so right now is not very good for Rigathi Gachagua. He must just stay the way he has been. By provoking Rigathi Gachagua, it meant that probably at the end of the day, Rigathi Gachagua was going to be forced to respond. So he wanted to do that. And that's why they decided, okay, let's go to the pastor, raid his residence. In fact, the pastor was just bold enough to say no to that. So that's number 3, provoke. Number 4, and this is the biggest fear in William Ruto's camp, Rigathi Gachagua's popularity in the mountain. You see, since his impeachment, Rigathi Gachagua's popularity shot, especially in the mountain. You compound it with William Ruto's failure, and of course Kenya Kwanza failure, the feeling of betrayal, the feeling of bringing Raila Odinga into the government, Raila phobia. Rigathi Gachagua's popularity shot up. In the last election, William Ruto won the highest number of votes from one region called the mountain. William Ruto would want Rigathi Gachagua to continue remaining the way he is, not moving much, so that the mountain can actually forget about the impeachment, so that his people can start going to the ground. But if Rigathi Gachagua is allowed to go to the churches, he's going to incite the people there. His popularity, people will start listening to him. So he doesn't want that, the fear of that popularity. And lastly, I think there's a strong feeling in government that if Rigathi Gachagua were to be denied the platform, then he can be content. Because remember, Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. He doesn't have the platform of the deputy president. So where else can he get the platform? The church funeral. You can't stop Rigathi Gachagua from attending a funeral. Maybe church, you can't stop him also, but you can ask the church leaders, the pastors and the bishops, not to allow him. But remember, some of these pastors and bishops are also disappointed in William Ruto. The promises William Ruto made to them, which has failed to deliver so far. So I don't know, but let me hear your opinion. Should we allow Kenya as a country, even if you hate Rigathi Gachagua? For me, I'm not sympathetic to Rigathi Gachagua at all. But even if you don't like him, but is it fair for the country to try and slide back to that level? For me, I don't think it's fair. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.